Ooh, bad Larry.
The Inferno rages, people! New York is under siege! That would be the headline if this was really happening to the city of New York. Welcome back, I'm your host, Bad Larry, and this episode covers the Spectacular Spider-Man number 147, released in February 1989. Written by Jerry Conway and penciled by Sal Buscema, the story picks up directly following the end of The Amazing Spider-Man number 312. Check out that episode in my Inferno playlist to get caught up. The cover is alright. Spider-Man is upside down, punching, but I feel he's still quite stagnant. J.Jonah James looks more lively and fierce. The cover is mid to me, 75 out of 100. It represents what will happen in the book, but it's not jumping out at me. During this period, well, even now, cover art is a big deal. I think it was an even bigger deal back then. The only thing marketing the book was the cover. And with at least 2 other Spider-Man books on the shelf to compete with, as well as the 100 others on the shelf, this issue may have been overlooked. It's not bad, but it's not great. Tell me what you think in the comments and make sure to like this video. It means a lot to the channel, which is me. This issue is titled When the Bugle Blows, which is a double entendre referring to when a bugle would sound to begin a war and to represent the Daily Bugle newspaper office blowing up in demonic violence. We see a pretty beaten up and dejected Hobgoblin. He just got his ass whooped by both Spider-Man and Green Goblin. And now Hobgoblin is whining about it like a little bitch. This Hobgoblin is insufferable. He's acting like an entitled Gen Z brat. He feels the strength formula and the Goblin title should be his because he stole the suit and tech fair and square. Boo-hoo, go cry to your mama, Hobbsy. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Hobgoblin is attacked by a gob of goblins. Bet you didn't know that's what a group of goblins were called, a gob. Anywho, the demon goblins are hungry and looking to eat Hobbsy, but the villain won't be felled by these creatures today. He bombs and finger zaps them until he is victorious. He sees the Empire State Building has transformed, but he doesn't care one lick. It's none of his concern. As Spider-Man swings above the mob of people running for their lives from the demons, goblins, ghosts, and ghouls, a major gust of wind comes up from behind Spider-Man, throwing him viciously against a solid stone of the building. Why didn't his spider senses warn him? This has been happening in the last few episodes. The demonic villains do not register on Spider-Man's spider senses, making him vulnerable to their attacks. As Spider-Man falls, he catches himself on a perched gargoyle statue. Oh no, now this thing is possessed. Before Spider-Man can make a move, the possessed gargoyle takes a nasty bite out of Spider-Man's side, and he falls all the way to the pavement, busting up his ribs and knocking him out. He needs to find somewhere safe and familiar, so he makes his way to the Daily Bugle building. Inside, J.Jonah James is strong as ever. He's like a war general, directing his people, keeping everyone safe, and fighting off monsters as well, stepping up big time as a leader. The one person J.Jonah Jameson probably doesn't want to see at this very moment is Spider-Man. And guess who just sauntered into the office and then passes out? All of Manhattan is now under siege by possessed objects and demons. MJ is not only a beauty, but she's also a beast with that stick, saving this guy's life from being eaten alive by a pink demon monster. The good news is that the demons and monsters have pretty low hit points. One good whack puts him down. The Green Goblin is feeling himself for beating Hobgoblin. He's so excited to tell his wife Liz when the darn water becomes possessed and catches Green Goblin off guard. The demonic energies want to keep everyone in the city. The water was trying to be a barrier preventing Greenie from leaving the city. Luckily, he finger zapped it, putting the water back to normal, but all this is just too freaky, even for Green Goblin. Greenie here has really turned a 180. He decides to check in on Aunt May, unaware if Peter has done so yet, because Harry is such a good friend and a generally good dude. A bunch of civilians have totally lost it, have become mad and are seeing other humans as demons. Chainsaw Man here attacks Old Man Joe Robertson, who can barely make a lap walking around the block 2 episodes ago, but now has to fight off a much younger male who is crazed and wielding a chainsaw. Well, Joe ain't no punk. He uses his cane judo trick, putting down the man and destroying the chainsaw in one swift action. Nice move, Joe. Joe's son and white girlfriend run up to check on Joe. The phones are all out. Radios are all out down as well. Buildings are on fire and people are rioting. So, typical day in Oakland, right? As a crazed mob approaches, Joe has found his balls and says he ain't running anymore. The art. Empire State Building looks like it's made out of Laffy Taffy. The city is now under a cloud of pure evil darkness. The Empire State Building, remember, became the epicenter of Nooster's spell, bringing limbo to Earth. The building acts like a magnifying glass, amplifying the evil energies. The Hobgoblin thinks he is slick, slinking around, but the ground itself transforms into a monster and is about to eat the cowardly villain. Before Hobgoblin becomes a demon supper, he asks for the big man in charge. He wants to make a deal. And folks, there is only one thing demons want, and that is your soul. What do you think Hobgoblin wants so much he's willing to trade his soul for it? We haven't been fully told how or why Nooster has changed from his regular green color to this red color. I thought he might have infected himself with the techno-organic virus like Saim did, but I'm actually not sure. If there's any superfans here who know, put it down in the comments. I was right about the soul trading bit though. Hobgoblin wants power, pure power, and is willing to give up his soul for it. Nooster laughs at him maniacally. Nooster digs at Hobgoblin, saying his soul is too nasty. But Nooster makes the deal anyway. Back at the Daily Bugle, more and more demon goblins are attacking. J.Jonah James is leading the counterattack from the front. He can finally put all that angry energy to use, knocking these monsters around with his stick. Spider-Man is still kind of out of it, but notices his friend Ben Urich about to be eaten by a demon. Even as injured as he is, Spider-Man is still way more qualified to fight off these creatures. One simple jab turns a demon into sawdust. But now Spidey sees that J. Jonah Jameson is surrounded. He's about to be minced meat for these monsters' dinner. Wow. Even in the face of death, Triple J still jaw-jacks at Spider-Man. Spider-Man is cracking jokes about being on a team-up with J. Jonah Jameson when Triple J just swings, smokes, and curses. Typical Jameson. This scene is one of real bravery. Normal, everyday folks fighting for their literal lives, turned into soldiers of the earth in an instant, drafted into this war regardless of desire, race, gender, or creed. It is human against demon. You better fight or die. These proud New Yorkers have fought off this horde, for now, until another wave inevitably shows up. Spider-Man cracks a joke, but J. Jonah Jameson isn't laughing. He sees the state of Spider-Man's injury. Doesn't look good. The adrenaline of the battle just wore off, sending Spider-Man back to the floor unconscious. Chaos and darkness have enveloped all of Manhattan. No one knows exactly what is happening, including Hobgoblin here. He wakes up. The land is all wonky around him, and he screams about his eyes. His vision is all jacked up. What did Nooster do to his eyes? Ugh, brother, ugh. What did he do indeed? Hobbsy here is mad ugly, looking like a real goblin lizard man. But this is exactly what Hobbsy asked for, the power of a demon. But everything comes at a cost. Now he has the power of the demon, he has to look like one too. What did y'all think of this issue? I like the story okay, especially the developments regarding Hobgoblin and his transformation. The art to me honestly reminds me of a coloring book. I'm not trying to be rude, but I feel like the art was so basic, the colors were so basic, Either like someone used Crayola markers to color the book, or the art is more suited for a Sunday newspaper comic strip. Am I being too harsh? Let me know in the comments below. I have to admit, I made some numerical and order errors in the reading list for this series, which I have updated. Not that anyone probably has looked at that anyway or cares, but if you have, today's list is the most accurate. As you can see, I've included the cover of tomorrow's episode, part 15 of the Inferno series. Wow, nearly halfway there. It is in the Web of Spider-Man number 48, which looks like a good one. Thanks everyone for the support. Hit that like button, and I'll see you real soon. Peace.